locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get a few. Day to day, you wanna stay out, you're chasing the
Hey everyone, welcome to ESEA Premier Season 38. I am JRT, joined by Exner, and both teams very eager to get going here, Cole, because we're already into the pistol round.
Yeah, I cannot believe it, man. What a show of innate professionalism. And already up catwalk, Beaky's holding it down. He's already got himself 2 frags, and this rush has been pretty quickly decimated here. As excited as they were to play this match, it's not going all that well for Coldest Riders, but there you go. Savage is going to take one back, and so we do enter it into a 2v3, and they're going to slow things down and reposition.
Yeah, we got GGPR facing off against the Coldest Riders. Coldest Riders in their debut match in ESEA Premier. They qualified here through the relegation tournament, lost to Mythic initially 1-2, then had a forfeit win up against Cronum and lost to Villainous to technically be eliminated from the relegation tournament, but they had a chance at, I believe, a 5th place qualifier against X13, and they won that one 2-1, and that is why they are here. And unfortunately for X13, they actually ended up disbanding because of that. But Savage is going to get that frag over on Lowrider, and back and forth action here turns into a 1v1. Exceed up against Polo. Exceed taps the bomb, fakes the defusal twice, and now Polo's going to have a look, or maybe he's already figured out what's going on here.
Oh, he's cleared it out, but nice win from Exceed. He taps the bomb as well. I think Polo might have just planted it a little too close to that box to be a little bit worried that he was diffusing there, but just enough time to get that diffuse off. And like you mentioned, Coldest Riders, they just were able to sneak their way into Premier. It was a hard road for them as well. As again, they even, I think, were not even supposed to be in the relegation tournament because of their placing in advance, but also a team dropped out of that. So they barely were able to sneak their way into this, and well, they're here now, and they got a bomb plant for their first round and solid start to Premier.
Yeah, and honestly, they performed really well. They won Fragadelphia East Falls. They had slight in place of landmass there, but still, they looked great, and they played a Premier team to win it. Big chillin'. They won 2-0 against them. Mirage 16-5, and Vertigo 16-9. So they looked really good there. I think they're going to be a team to watch here. But GGPR has made a few adjustments to their roster, picking up Exceed and JT Mythic. And you see, well, going by JT now, but Exceed's a Premier veteran. I mean, he left CSGO after Season 32, but he's back now, and he's played quite a bit of Counter-Strike. Great to see him in the action once more. And JT Mythic was actually part of that X13 roster that I just mentioned. It disbanded, and he joined up with GGPR.
Yeah, Lowrider always seems to be able to bring good teams into the action here, but look at this flank from Polo. He's got himself a great chance. He found himself the first. He needs to get the second. Exceed is able to sneak his way down the ladder. Sights being taken, and landmass from Connector is able to find himself one. Lowrider spotted out as well, so this should be a comfortable bomb plant and a 4v2 advantage here for Coldest Riders.
Yeah, you still have GGPR. Decent positioning. Lowrider could do some damage. It's actually Beaky Wado entry on the retake here against Polo, and Lowrider's tapping away, trying to catch off Savage. Now, Landman, is kind of isolated, and he goes down to JT. This is turning into quite the retake indeed. GGPR lose one. Jermaine trying to make it work, but it's Lowrider to take him down, and that should be the bomb defused. And on top of it, Lowrider pulls out the P2000 to get the headshot on Savage. GGPR looked good for Coldest Riders, but they were able to get back into it.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes that were made right there. The bomb wasn't planted for anyone in Connector, so that was an issue that they had to overcome. And on top of that, maybe a little bit of over-aggression or mispositioning from that player in balcony that allowed for GGPR to make that retake happen. But eventually, because of that, GGPR are able to force a eco of sorts here. It's more of a half buy from Coldest Riders, as they do have some investment, but it's just Deagles and a little bit of armor to be in play. No utility in this one. Oh my god.
Oh, nice shot from Inshaniak. He was the top frag for them last season with 302 frags, plus 57 kill to death differential, and an ADR of 85.8. He also had 4 4Ks and 2 aces, and the 2 aces was #1 in Premier, as Polo's going to strike back with the Deagle. Beaky Wow going to go down.
It's a nice 1-for-1 trade so far. Taking out Beaky here. Chaniak looking for more towards middle. Jumps down. That's so bold with the scout, but he is able to find it. Now Lowrider's going to be overwhelmed. Zinchaniak tries to trade, but eventually they will find mid control. And on top of that, they'll get an M4 for Polo. Finds himself another frag. They're going to try and hit the speed bomb site, and it's only JT, the new man in the roster, to defend against this cat aggression. He's got himself a great spot, but he needs to find himself a double, and he does exactly that. He puts it into a 1v1, and it's only Polo with low HP to try and clutch it out once again.
Polo. He's got the 3K, looking for the fourth, but cannot get it. Exceed, the veteran, comes through and clutches another round for his squad. That's 3 in a row for the GGPR side, as they're rolling along pretty well. And yeah, I do like the changes that GGPR made. Last season was a bit of a mess when it comes to roster, if I'm being honest. They had so many players going in and out. Had Arcuz, George, Creed, J-Dubs, KMZ, JMP, Sharky, BQWow, and Shaniak. I mean, that's a lot of players. And even their coach Quick had played at one point. I don't know if that was in Premier, but definitely in the
he was in the playoffs,
yeah, in the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting roster here. Mid-action's already going underway, and quick trades going in favor of Coldest Riders. On top of that, they've taken B control, so all is looking pretty well for the first gun round of this matchup for the Coldest Riders. Look at that catwalk plant again, and now they've got to clean up their post plants and make sure that they convert on rounds like these. They can't afford to give this one up, and they might even get a save on their opposition as well, so even more going for them.
That was a really nice take of the B side. You see GGPR not even really going to go for anything. They don't have to.
Ooh.
They want to save this. Yeah, Lowrider does manage to take out Polo, and Shaniak almost went down. What I want to say was they lost a lot of manpower in pretty much every single round. So saving is the right call here. You're going to see Drew trying to peek out and get a frag, but he will not. Lowrider drops him. And more than likely, GGPR should be able to survive with these 2 rifles.
Looking likely. Honestly, an impressive save. You can see that they're so low, but they were able to find themselves a couple of exits as well and keep Coldest Riders' economy on watch. Don't allow for that T-side economy to get too comfortable, despite giving up that first round. But because of how close those last couple of rounds were, you can see that it's put a strain on the economy. 2 MP9s in play, the saved rifles from last round, and then a deagle for JT. So they really don't have much to work with on this one.
Yeah, we'll see what happens up against AKs across the board for the Coldest Riders. To note, this is the pick for the Coldest Riders, and for good reason. Throughout Advanced and Fragadelphia East Falls, undefeated here, 5-0, 80 rounds, 449 rounds against for a plus 31 round differential. But here we go, Exceed and BQWow getting 2 frags right off the bat with the MP9s, and they continue to do the damage. Lowrider with the AK gets savage, and GGPR tilting this round right on its head with the inferior weaponry, but they make it work with those close range engagements.
Yeah, perfect play from the MP9s right there. Now Drew left last alive, finds himself a kill onto Shaniak. Has made this possible, especially with the fact that one of his opponents only has a deagle. Could definitely upgrade there, and he will find himself an op as well. But now it buys time for Drew to reposition. He's going to take the long way around this T-spawn area and try and get the bomb control. That's the one goal that he needs to find here. And right now, GGPR, they have heavy guard on this position.
Yeah, they got the bomb in their position. There's not really much Drew can do. He's going to have to engage here. The one advantage he has is that JT is watching towards connector, and Lowrider doesn't really have an angle on A ramp. And as I say that, he does back off towards ticket. But still, I think Drew could sneak through here. Lowrider spots him out, but does not frag him. 27 seconds left for Drew to make it work. Swinging around, gets JT, but Lowrider will clutch it out. 4-1 for GGPR, but these rounds have been really close.
Yeah, that was so close, but you can see that because of the amount of people that went down in GGPR's exits, that, again, it kind of puts Coldest Riders' money in a weird spot right now. They can go for a force buy here. It looks like they're going to go for a partial buy. Just try their luck with the deagles once again. But, again, they've been so close in so many rounds, but they haven't been able to top the economy of GGPR, and they haven't been able to string anything together. So that's going to be a test here. If Coldest Riders can get that activated, they maybe could pull off a nice start here.
Lowrider going to toss a nade into connector. All of Coldest Riders are converging upon mid and connector. Might go for a boost into window. Lowrider's wise to it and kind of waiting for that to happen. There's a smoke that flies in, so Good smoke by Coldest Riders. Giving themselves a little bit of an opening here.
Just playing the slow game here. I've taken full mid control. They're going to try and work their way out. No real game plan. Bomb's going to be picked up here, so we'll get to see more as to where they're going. Look at that. Lowrider tracks him through the smoke. I don't even know how he saw him, but he gets the opening frag, and Shawniak doubles down as well. They push through Khan. They're going to take themselves a couple as Exceed finds 4th kill in the round. Now it's just Drew left once again, last alive. See if he can do some money damage. Finds himself a first, but Beaky's quick on the trade, and a 1-5 start here. GGPR looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, and Lowrider in particular up to 8-3, and he's a player that has been very effective in past seasons. Last season was kind of up and down, but still a consistent fragger for them. 269 frags, a 0 kill to that differential, 81.3 ADR, and 21 3-kill plus rounds. So still very effective player, but a little slower than you usually see him. But he's also calling, of course. So as the IGL, those are excellent stats. Looking at the Coldest Riders, they did win Fragadelphia East Falls without Landmaz there, who is one of their top frags, at 318 frags in advance, and also at 22 3-kill plus rounds, including 3 4Ks. But Slight was in his place, and Slight was incredible. In fact, Slight has been on the championship team for the first 2 Fragadelphia events, and he's going to be playing at Denver as well. It's just a little bit of a side story for you guys. But if you want to follow that, that's going to be happening this weekend. Anyway, back to the action here. GGPR looking quite good with that tweaked roster that they brought into Season 38. Coldest Riders, though, they're trying to find that killing blow in one of these rounds, because a lot of them have been very close, as mentioned.
Yeah, it's all come down to pretty close ones, except for that last round right there. They cleaned it up in pretty clean fashion. But look at this setup that GGPR's throwing at them. They've taken full control of apartments. That's so much information. They're going to tuck just Lowrider here. And maybe he might get caught over aggressing. They'll certainly cure a lot of information, but this is going to be a tricky angle for him to find a multi-frag from, and he's spotted out. He now has to make the retreat. He gets the grenade out, and that's going to give up all of the B-bomb site. We'll see if Coldest Riders will hit the gas quick enough to take advantage of that, or if they'll be stopped by rotates.
Drew has a chance here to do some damage, and he does. Beaky, wow, goes down. Now it's Exceed, going to get 1 response, but still the man advantage in favor of the Coldest Riders, as they are rotating now towards the A site. This might be a mistake, and Shawniak with that AWP is extremely lethal. He's going to get Polo, and a shot missed on him by Landmaz. Landmaz regretting that one, as in Shawniak drops the 2K, gives his team now the man advantage. The bomb goes down, but you have to feel like GGPR are going to take this one, and yeah, a 3v1. Drew being closed on from all angles, and he will go down. GGPR, another excellent retake, and they are going to take a 6-1 lead.
What a set of composure right there from Shawniak as well. Just was so calm in the high-pressure situation of everyone closing in from each angle. He even shoots over a Molotov to his teammate there. Nicely done. And GGPR, they'll take a 6. I mean, that was a 5v3 that very quickly spiraled out of control for Coldest Riders.
They were looking great, but that's what's happening here in the latter parts of the rounds. They're just not making the right adjustments, and GGPR are capitalizing every single time. And if you look at the GGPR roster, they're all veterans in Premier, except for JT Mythics in his rookie season, but 2 or more seasons for the rest of them, and Shawniak at 5, Lowrider in his 3rd, and Exceed in his 6th season. So all these guys have played a lot of Counter-Strike at this level, and Shawniak up cat, going to get Polo.
Shawniak never fails to impress me right there with the op as well, and what a nice start. Able to avoid out on all the flashbangs and finding that opening pick in the attempt at mid control with the amount of resources that Coldest Riders were throwing at them it's a huge victory for GGPR once again. Now they're forced to play in this 4v5. It doesn't look like they are going to have much going for them. Get that boost up in towards B bomb site as well, and things are just working so nicely for the CT side right now.
Yeah, they really are. Coldest Riders down a man already. So until they can come through, not forgetting that this is, of course, their map pick. GGPR choosing to go with Dust 2 as their pick. We'll get there. Oh, we're not there yet. Far from it. And Savage is going to come out of the apartments here. He gets 1 on JT. Yeah, and Lowrider's going to trade it back, though. Still the man advantage. GGPR. Oh, no. Oh, no. BQO on boost spot. They don't clear it.
Yeah, it's a tough clear. I mean, not often that you see someone playing up in there as well. Look at the amount of AKs that GGPR has rolling for them. 3 AKs in the round. No bomb plant, but you could make an argument for Coldest Riders to invest here, maybe just make an attempt at trying to get some sort of momentum in this, because again, it's been one round, and that round was taken pretty cleanly, but since then, GGPR been able to maneuver their way around whatever Coldest Riders have thrown at them with relative ease, and it's everyone as well from GGPR that's helping out in this one.
Mm-hmm. And on Mirage for GGPR, it hasn't been that bad of a map for them over the last 3 months. 7 games played, 4 wins, 3 losses, 78 rounds for, 79 rounds against for a -1 round differential. So a lot of very tightly contested matches on Mirage. You can tell from that round differential. They're still pretty strong here, and they're showing why right now.
I'm really excited to see what this roster can do. I feel like every season GGPR are able to bounce back from whatever sort of roster shuffles that plague them, and always seem to get some sort of group that can make things work. And that, so far, I believe they made playoffs every season they've been in Premier.
Yes,
which is really impressive.
For the first season they made, I think that was season 35. Oh, excuse me. We'll get back to that in a minute, as Drew and Exceed are going to trade frags here. Good frag from Drew to get Lowrider, but Exceed was right there to make sure that the damage was limited. That said, Coldest Riders are going to have to deal with JT on the flank. He gets 1-2, looking for the third, but no, he will be shut down. That means an AK in the hands of Coldest Riders in a 2v3, but still good movement across the map for GGPR.
Oh, great damage from Savage with the Deagle. There's one on the other side. He has to be aware of that. Got to be careful when you're playing up against the Ops, but they're still going to take their map control. Meanwhile, the Ops aggression has come through as well. And Mass just shot a bullet straight through the vents. That's a little bit unfortunate, but can't get that sound cue off. And I think they are going to try their luck up towards Catwalk, which makes it really difficult with Beaky's position in apartments. This is going to be a hard sell for the T side at the moment.
I would have liked it if they went towards Connector and committed to it, because now they're just kind of floating around mid, and GGPR is getting the opportunity to set up on both bomb sites. And as you can see, it's Landmaz in a 1v3 with 20 seconds left. He's trying to go for it. Credit to him. Tapping away, trying to pre-fire. BK Wow being very patient here, and Shonyak spots out Landmaz, legs him, and BK Wow finishes the job. 8-1 for GGPR. They've already secured the first half with those 8 rounds, Cole.
Yeah, really well played right there in the 3v1, making sure they don't make any mistakes, cleaning them up and playing off each other so nicely. Yeah, they're just looking very clean. They're capitalizing off of every mistake that Coldest Riders is making. That's exactly what you want to see from a Premier team coming up against a rookie team like Coldest Riders.
Maybe a little bit of nerves right now for Coldest Riders.
Yeah.
You didn't see it in Fragadelphia as much, because I think the competition wasn't necessarily all Premier teams, but now going into this season, well, it makes sense to be a little bit nervous. JT and Exceed are going to get a couple of frags, kick things off, and already a 2-man advantage in the first 25 seconds.
Yeah, I think you're onto something right there. Definitely some mistakes that we did not see in some of the lesser competition here. Exceed's got himself a chance. He'll clean that one up. And they're still trying to make their way out of apartments. They finally jumped out. They've got 2 players on site that they have to deal with, and Exceed is making his way around the B bomb site. Polo will take one down before he will most likely be finished. Peeking in from the Johnny-Ack, and he'll take the last frag.
Wow. Yeah, Exceed's really good. By the way, guys, we haven't seen him for a little while. It's been 6 seasons, but yeah, he's an awesome player. Last season he played, they didn't make the playoffs in season 32 for the team he was playing for, but still he had really good stats considering they weren't a playoff team. 244 frags, plus 13 kill to that differential, 77.4 ADR, and a 17 3 kill plus rounds, including 3 4Ks over his career as well. On HLTV, he's got a 1.02 KDR and an ADR 75.6, so a very consistent, strong player. That's a great addition to pretty much any team. And again, I'm really happy he's back in the action.
Yeah, I mean, he's showed up quite nicely, leading the scoreboard pretty heftily, and being a key reason as to why GGPR is winning a lot of these rounds. I mean, everyone's showing up to the plate, but he's kind of stepping up and then some. So now we'll see if Coldest Riders can have any sort of reaction here. Right now, things have started off so slow that they might have just digged themselves too deep of a hole to get themselves back into.
Yeah, I think they really plugged the holes well with Exceed and JT Mythic around that core of Lowrider and Shonyak and Beaky. And Beaky was a great addition last season. He was really strong for them. In fact, right behind in Shonyak with 292 frags and a plus 40 kill to that differential, he was great. Rookie season numbers, those are very impressive.
Beaky's really impressive. He's impressed me a long time in advance when he was playing back then.
Not only is he effective in the server, though, his mentality and when he's interviewed, it just seems like he's got his head on straight, and he's very professional, which is awesome.
Yeah, you can see we started early. Both teams so professional. It's so nice to see.
Yeah,
I cannot believe it. I'm still kind of shocked that this started before 8. Both teams before 8. I just cannot believe it, guys. It's amazing.
I love it. I love that so much. But Exceed is going to come through
and
get that frag on Jermaine. Yeah, that's an excellent angle to hold, not one that's commonly held. And Jermaine doesn't expect it. Now Lowrider, well, this is a more common angle in sandwich. Landmass doesn't clear it at all. Trades are coming through though. Here we go. Coldest Riders 3v2 advantage. They've gotten onto the A site. That Molotov is excellent for Savage. That's going to force Exceed back a little bit. And now JT is going to have to wait as well with that smoke blinding his vision.
Recycling that smoke towards CT as well, and what a spam from Savage, as now it's just JT left in the 1v3. Jumps up on top of Ticket Booth, has enough money to warrant a play like that. It's well worth a shot, but immediately gets taken care of, and Coldest Riders will take themselves a second round. It's a long way back into this game, but that's the start they need.
Yeah, it was a good take of the A site. A couple of mistakes along the way, but they managed to recover, which they weren't able to do in previous rounds after making a mistake, and GGPR finally cede around to them. But still, it's a 7-round lead. Coldest Riders need to do that again and again and again, and GGPR, I don't know if it's going to happen with the way that they're playing here tonight. They're going for another bit of aggression up mid as well. BQL and Lowrider looking to take map control.
We'll play here from B. He just sitting inside of the smoke, and it will be recycled. So he'll get more time to chill inside of the smoke. Yeah, look at this lineup as well from Exceed. He's going to get that one down towards a ramp. And right now, the slow default with the hard lurk of Drew is what we've been seeing all game. They're going to try their luck towards B. And with that sort of information towards the top of mid and towards mid in general, I'm wondering what they'll try and react off of that. It seems like they're going to stack towards B, and that's exactly what they need to do. Or maybe not. Rotating back towards A.
Yeah, still a good chunky utility here for the Coldest Riders, and most of that's going to be used in a few moments here onto this A site. But GGPR made the adjustment. They got 3 players here, so Coldest Riders going to have to win the aim duels, and they got to go up against the Opf and Shonyak, and they've already lost 1 to it.
Yeah, immediately finding that first pick on the inbound there is going to make this round a whole lot more difficult. And Johnny,
no!
My God, Landmass takes down one of his teammates into a 3v5. Exceed's still on site this whole time. They haven't even been able to get this far, but Exceed will take 2 down with them. Polo now left into a 1v3. Makes it happen onto the first, but can't get anything else. That is such an unfortunate inbound towards the A bomb site.
It's just... that is the most unfortunate timing. You're absolutely right, Cole. I mean, there's nothing that could have been done. Lando was going for a shot onto the ace. I believe he was trying to get in Shonyak, but his teammate walked right in front of him, and that was that. There's just nothing you can do. 10-2 though for GGPR, cruising along. 4 Tech 9s and a Deagle for the Coldest Riders, which would usually indicate a quick play, but it looks like they're going to take their time to set things up.
Yeah, good flashbang setup. It's going to net them an opening pick. Exceed going down already, and they've taken the site, full control of it. Even CT spot as well. Picked themselves up an M4, and well, they got to get bomb down still. They haven't been able to punch in those numbers, and that's going to allow for time to be made here. GGPR and PT going to enter in towards CT spawn. JT will take down 2, and now the man advantage has swung back heavily in the favor of GGPR. They found all the frags, and the retake looked so easy.
I mean, look, Coldest Riders didn't invest much into that round. They just bought up the pistols, a half buy. They wanted to get the bomb plant. It's mission accomplished, but I mean, maybe under different circumstances that would be more effective because the scoreline is quite lopsided right now at 11-2 in favor of GGPR. Still a good round, but yeah, they really need to pick up a few more here. Yeah,
definitely. You can see Landmass trying to shake things off.
Yeah.
G-spawn, and you can see why some of these small mistakes. I think that CT spawn smoke and JT just rolling right through it. It's just such a fast retake, and I don't think Coldest Riders were prepared.
No, and I mean, you saw JT come through and get 2 frags from CT, but Savage wasn't even looking towards CT, so I'm not even not sure if the callouts weren't there or what. But yeah, there was a player already watching jungle, and he was watching it as well. Yeah. Again, I think it's nerves.
Yeah.
we'll see. They're going to go for another take of the A site, and they've already got it. In fact, GGPR has no one on the site. Lowrider through the smoke does connect on for a frag on Drew, but it's going to be a 5v4. Jermaine going to get JT.
Oh, this is the exact same setup that they did in the last round, this time just with AKs, and we'll see how it works out for them. And Shawnee, a rare missed op shot will allow for 2 picks from Polo to take things back. And now, finally, it seems like Coldest Riders have found an answer to what GGPR has been throwing at them. It's just Exceed, and definitely the man you want in the 1v4, but I think he's converted. Maybe not. Savage goes down, but it doesn't get any easier from here. But the smoke for the bomb, okay. Polo saves the day right there before he can even get on it.
Yeah, Exceed missed the smoke, and then Polo comes right around from jungle like a bat out of hell and gets his 3rd frag of the round. So Coldest Riders, okay, they've strung together 3-round victories. 11-3, 11-4 certainly wouldn't be too bad. And looking at the economy for GGPR, this is the opportunity for the Coldest Riders to build a little bit of momentum. They've got 4 AKs in the op up against GGPR's 3 pistols, 2 of those being Deagles and 1 of 5.7, an MP9 and the M4A4 Exceed going for the aggression though. He's already pushed right up against A-Ramp.
4 players towards A. It seems like they've reacted to the fact that A's been hit a couple of times in a row. The smoke goes down towards apartments, and it's really well timed here. It's even going to allow rotates in the form of 3 players back towards the B bomb site. So it does seem like GGPR once again are going to have a better read end to this round. It just depends on if they can make things work with the lesser weaponry.
Well, possibility here. I think JT hasn't been spotted out here. Well, now he does get spotted. Savage and Drew get a couple, and Shonyak and BQ are striking back, though, and it's going to be Savage to at least take down Shonyak, but I like the positioning for Lowrider. He doesn't finish off the frag on Savage, and that means we have a 3v1 Exceeds position known, and Polo will finish things off indeed. 11-4 scoreline, and that is very much a scoreline that Coldest Riders could come back from.
Yeah, when a pistol, you close that distance very, very quickly. So not out of the realms of possibility just yet. They just need to clean up a couple of these rounds. And right there, you saw that some of the players towards the tail end were getting activated. Landmass with the op was starting to hit some pretty nice shots. Polo was finding himself a couple of frags. He looked so good at that last frag event over in Philly. So, I mean, we're seeing a little glimpse of it. But again, they got to shake off these nerves. They got to come into things just with a fresh mind in the second half, because winning this map would be a great start to trying to take down what is arguably an underdog here for Coldest Riders.
Yeah, GGPR has been, as we talked about earlier on, a pretty solid team in Premier. They did get into playoffs in their first season in Season 36, despite going 3-4 in the regular season because Oceanus and Extra Salt dropped out. Extra Salt to go to Europe and Oceanus, well, for other reasons that I won't get into right now. For Season 37, though, they played quite well. They finished 5-3 and made the playoffs of their own merit, but unfortunately ended up going up against Pain in the first round. We know how things usually go against them, and lost 5-16 on Mirage and 8-16 on Nuke. And then against RBG, who actually do typically perform pretty well in the playoffs, and they did again against GGPR last season. Dust 2 was a 13-16 loss, and Overpass 7-16. So yeah, the thing is, what impressed me about GGPR last season, they did all that with so many different roster players pitching in. So now hopefully they'll have this solid core of 5 players, and I mean, they could do a lot more with it.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I'm always excited to see what things can be formulated with Lowrider and Quick. Those two just are so good. They're one of the, I would say, best talent scouts in NA, with just bringing new players that can succeed at the Premier, that come Premier ready, which is so nice to have in this sense. But we're seeing a fast A play already for the GGPR roster, and so far it's just going to be a retake here for Coldest Riders.
Oh yeah, retake indeed. Look at GGPR, they're hunting for blood. The bloodlust clear in Beaky's eyes as he's going to charge into jungle and take down Landmass. Beaky gets a second over on Polo. He's starting to wake up on the T side of things, and Shonyak gets Drew. No one able to do much of anything until Jermaine gets Lowrider, but that might be too little too late.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's a double. Just making it possible. He gets a third. 2v5 is on the way, but there you go. Exceed finally shuts him down. Of course, it's Exceed to do it, shutting down the dreams here of Coldest Riders. So smoke and a stick is possible here for Savage, but with limited HP, he's really going to have to get on that bomb, and he won't quite make it. Instead, it will be GGPR taking the pistol. And that was kind of the key to the comeback for Coldest Riders. They kind of needed that, get themselves back into it. So I imagine we're going to see a force buy here directly after. And yeah, that's what's going to be the case.
Yep. 12-4 for GGPR. 1:44 on the clock for Deagles and the Scout here for Coldest Riders. And Lowrider's going to get the opening frag on Jermaine. That said, Drew's going to come back and get the Deagle frag on Beaky while it's going back and forth. GGPR appear to have the edge, and yeah, very much so now. A-side in their control, and Shonyak taps away to the head of Polo, who is all the way over on Cat from the A-site. And Savage comes around with the Deagle and does manage to do some damage. He's going to try and rock around this corner with the AK in hand with Exceed closing the gap. He will be surrounded soon, so he has to make a quick play. And a quick play he makes indeed, going on to this A-site. Cole, he could get JT, but JT's movement is excellent. He doesn't let Savage lock on, and Lowrider's the one to finish the job, racking up a 3K on the round.
Yeah, just ran out of ammo right there towards the tail end, unfortunately. But that was such an easily swept round from GGPR that you would like to see some more fight out of them right there. And I think that this one's kind of spiraling out of control for the GGPR boys. That a 14-4 comeback seems just a little bit unrealistic. So maybe keep the economy honest with this eco, with the little you have invested. But other than that, they've got themselves a road back into this matchup.
Savage just tossing a smoke there. Oh, I think Shonyak's gotten down there. Indeed he has. Savage might have spotted him. He's checked, yeah. Check boost spot, which Coldest Riders. Yeah. Oh boy, a little bit of a slip there because that used to be their name. Anyway, Savage going to get headshotted by Beaky. Wow. 4v3 in favor of GGPR, and the Coldest Riders unable to hold on to that B site. That's probably the round here, Cole.
And Shonyak used that boost one too many times to not check that, so that will open up another round for GGPR. As we are going to see the 5.7. Not too often that I see a 5.7 here. I almost never see that weapon anymore, but it's not going to get much use as they are already pushing, aggressing down. Drew left last alive, and Beaky just taking the long range angle to find the last frag. 14-4. And
jeez.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can get things started here with a gun round.
Maybe, but man, that's a tall hill to climb. Usually when you have those 11-4 halves, you want to get kick things off with a pistol round victory, but they couldn't get that, couldn't get the force buy victory either. So now they're down to their first rifle buy with only 2 rounds to give themselves, or 2 rounds to spare, I should say, because GGPR could quickly end this one. They've got an op 3 M4A4s and the M4A1S, 2 players playing on this B site, and Exceed is just charging out here. No hesitation, throws the flashbang. He's already jumping onto the B site. Is Pole even going to expect this? He does. Wow. Exceed, balls to the wall, pushing out there, but does go down for the count.
I mean, he certainly sold a nice fake, but look at that shot from Landmass. That was beautiful. Now trying to find some through the smoke. They're going to push through it. Landmass dodging out. Can't find the reaction shot onto Beaky, and he gets out of dodge as well. A nice little hit and run setup right there as they are trying to find some more through the smoke. They have taken the man advantage here. But the retake's still not going to be easy, and you can see the difference between Coldest Riders and GGPR and how they play the post plants. They've all kind of gotten themselves in positions where they can play off each other.
GT going to get Drew. Trade comes in through from Polo, and they're going to try for this defusal. Lowrider defending from the ramp, and he will go down as well. It's only BQL left, and he's not going to be able to get here in time. You'd think he does get Jermaine. Polo takes down Beaky, though, and the bomb, the 10-second defusal, comes through. The Coldest Riders sneak one through there and pick up a 5th.
That was so close right there. If he was able to find the diffuser, that would have been 15 match point secured for GGPR, but they do squeak by a 5th round, and now that's a start that you need. Ideally, could have gotten it in cleaner fashion, but that's exactly what you want to see here. GGPR looking to close things out, though, with a much better buy, full AKs, and decent utility, looking to get things activated. I think they just saw Polo. Oh, I think Beaky spotted him. Yeah, he definitely did. Oh, he's been spotted, though, on the jump. And look, he's just going to pre-fire Polo. Oh, that's an easy one.
Jeez.
Well done.
Yeah, That's great work by Beaky, and he's got the information on the second player as well. If he can take this B side, I would imagine they're going to rotate our GGPR all the way back to B and grab that bomb from right outside of T apartments. That's it. They're still playing defaults. They're waiting to try and find another frag to decide where they're going to end up going. And now it looks like they're going to fall off of B, and Shonyak didn't really know where to go, got caught in no man's land, and Jermaine capitalized on it with the frag. Landmass comes through with one on Exceed, and Jermaine takes down Lowrider. So what started off very promising for GGPR has flipped on over into Coldest Rider's favor, with BQWOW and JT looking to clutch something.
There you go. Just taking the fight on the low HP player. JT going down as well. And Coldest Riders will take a 6, and not only that, they'll sort of stumble on a chance to beat GGPR with just pistols in play. So they've put themselves in a great spot to try and make things a little more respectable. I won't call it a comeback just yet, but this is the start that you need. Again, would have ideally got that pistol round, or at least a following, but not being able to afford that, this is exactly what you want to do to get back into things.
Oh, here comes GGPR. Yeah, they're just trying to charge out of A ramp. Jermaine gets 2 with the Molotov, 1 with the gun. 5v2. He's going to go for the ace. Here it is. Jermaine with the ace. He pulled this off in Fragadelphia, but now he's doing it up against GGPR.
He seems to have a little bit of a comfort spot there over in the underbelt position.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of those kills were a molly, but golly.
Honestly, that's exactly the same position he was in last time. That's right, for the ace. That's crazy. It was on an anti-eco, but still. Nicely done.
It's great stuff. Shutting down a round like that easily is exactly what you want. Now they'll have another chance with the weaponry. JT just narrowly avoiding the nade. Nearly caught the head of Polo. On the retreat, though, Polo will head and will get himself out of dodge. But again, just great information from the apartment lurks is very promising here. GGPR set themselves up for success so often, and is that spam Beaky? He lines it up to perfection.
That's such a good spam. Anyway, and Shonyak takes down Jermaine, who was trying to push up there.
The flashbang was just a little too deep, and I think that it didn't quite blind up in Shonyak. That's so unfortunate.
GGPR have the man advantage. Coldest Riders can't really afford to make a mistake at this point. JT popping a few flashes towards mid, and now he's going to move his body towards top mid. Polo, good flashbang thrown on the 3 players trying to get from apartments, but he's going to face a hail of utility. Going to have to leave that positioning more than likely, but no, sacrifices himself for the frag. Savage and Landmass pitch in for a couple more, and we got a 2v2 on our hands. Make it a 2v1. What a shot from Landmass, threading the needle on JT onto Cat. The question is, does he know Shonyak is on this bomb site? Because Shonyak has a bit of an advantage. If not, he does turn around, and now he knows. Landmass around the corner, 3K on the round, and the Coldest Riders are hanging on round after round.
Yeah, they're looking good doing it. You got Jermaine getting activated. You got Landmass as well, starting things off with the op. That's exactly what you want to see. Coldest Riders to make this competitive. On top of that, another save in play for GGPR. Now, max loss bonus will afford them the Eagles to play with, but there you go, making a competition out of this one. Getting themselves a comfortable bit of rounds for their opening match in Premier. Now, they do have to continue to convert off of these anti-Ecos, but the sort of map control they've got right now is a good start. Landmass pushed up towards the top of mid, but Wolfrider with such a nice shot to silence the op.
He's going for more now against Savage, who's taking down to 56. Polo as well as getting on the action on the B site. Beaky trying to take him down. Polo gets a nice little headshot. Now he's lit though, and he will go down to Shonyak. JT gets Savage. All of a sudden with just the deagles in hand, GGPR turning things around for themselves here. Drew and Jermaine, the last 2 standing, and Lowrider again. Oh, 2 beautiful Wandigs in this round. Jermaine, the last one standing, and he might go for the save.
Most likely. I mean, 1v4, it's very, very unlikely. He can't even get himself into market without taking a risk, so he'll bail out of things, but that right there, Lowrider starting that round off with that kill on the Landmass. Such an unbelievable opening, and you can see that Coldest Riders started to set a little bit of panic in after they gave up good positions towards apartments, and from there on out, it was all GGPR all the way, but Jermaine, he's going to make it expensive with a couple of frags, but match point secured for GGPR. Money won't mean a thing.
No. I don't think they care too much about the money. Jermaine needs to try and save this, and he just barely does. It's for Savage because Savage is going to need a drop, even though I think they could have bought him one anyway. It wasn't that important. That said, what is important here is that GGPR has a 15-8 lead. They've got 7 opportunities to close this one out, and the Coldest Riders, they're throwing everything they've got into this one. Double op setup, 2 M4s and the M4A1S. Let's see if they have another round victory in them.
To slow things down once again here. They've taken full mid control. They've gotten Shaniak posted up. They're trying to get low rider in towards Khan. Look at this angle from Polo. Not often you see him on the up. He's certainly been spotted there. He gets a chance at the shot, but it's a little too quick on the peak around the smoke. Too hard of an angle. And so it will be more positioning being gained here. But Polo goes back for more. They'll continue to hold down this line as GGPR. They take full control of mid at the moment.
Yeah, landmass having a look over the top of the. Oop.
Uh-oh.
Something happened to the Go TV.
No, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's oh, we're hopping back into Dust 2.
All right.
I think we might have gotten a little bit of a spoiler as to how this game has ended. Maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I mean, good for GGPR. I'm guessing that they won 16-7 since we're moving on to this next map. But either way, you know, a good effort by Coldest Riders. They were getting back into it, but it was just too late. They didn't get that start that they were hoping for on their map pick. So now we're going to go on to Dust 2.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate for their nerves to kind of show and for a lot of these close rounds to not be converted. But yeah, we'll head into Dust 2 most likely after a short little break here. But
yep,
yeah, excited for Dust 2 coming up.
Yep, we're going to hit that short break, guys, and be back in just a moment. Keep it locked here on ESL.
Turn my heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I wrote it all along on your way right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. Your side, I fed up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, cause I know that I can't deny Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, oh,
Hey everyone, welcome back to ESEA Premier Season 38, opening match of the season for GGPR and Coldest Riders, and GGPR have taken map 1 by a score of 16-8, quite convincingly overall, but still we saw a resurgence for the Coldest Riders towards the end of that one.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of signs of life for Coldest Riders. They did shake off the rust that kind of haunted them, the nerves that always seem to appear for advanced teams in their opening match of Premier, and understandably so. You know, you're in the brand new league. Your main goal is to try and stay with it. And I feel like out of all of the teams in this group, taking down a team like GGPR, it's one of the competitions, one of the teams that is very doable. You know, once you get into the extra salt territory, the triumphs, it's going to be a lot more harder. But GGPR, maybe you could certainly pull off underdog victory versus this roster. But we are getting into pistol round, and we'll see if Coldest Riders can respond. But of course, it's going to be GGPR's map pick, so they got a lot going for them here.
Yeah, GGPR have been picking into Dust 2 as of late. They've done so 3 times over the last 3 months up until this point, which would be their 4th. But they do have a 2-1 record here on those picks, and they've picked it 21% of the time. So that's not too shabby for them. We'll see if they can continue their momentum on the map. And JT opens things up with the frag on Jermaine. That's long control, and Coldest Riders only have 1 player nearby. That's Landmass Drew coming from CT as well.
Flashbang setup and the deep CT smoke to really make sure that they seal this A bomb site down. Lowrider is pushed up towards the dumpster, and he'll get spammed down. Drew will take himself a nice little freebie through the smoke and get out of dodge as well. But look at this catwalk, a little bit of a traffic jam on Cat, but in Shaniak, he'll answer that one. Clear that right up. And so now it's into a 2v3, and this doesn't get any easier here for Coldest Riders. So just playing off of each other, contact after contact, they'll be able to isolate these duels, and GGPR will take the opening pistol round.
Man, and Shaniak looking clean and crisp with those Glock shots. He gets 2 on the round, and a nice opening pick for GGPR to really ensure that that was possible. 1-0 in their favor. Liking it so far. Let's talk a little bit more about Dust 2 for GGPR. As mentioned, the 2-1 run record, 51 rounds for, 41 rounds against for a +10 round differential. It's their best map in terms of round differential. Looking at the Coldest Riders, they don't really play Dust 2. In fact, they didn't really play it at all, either through Fragadelphia or in advance. So, you know, it is Dust 2, and anyone can jump onto this map and perform well, but still.
Should see an opening hit. Oh, Lowrider wins that. Polo, at the very least, is going to be able to take himself down a frag. Shaniak will quickly answer that issue, and they do have full control of long. On top of that, a long plant, which makes it even easier to play in the post plants here. But all in all, should be just saving.
Whew. He just tore the head off of Jermaine as he peeked around that corner. Savage, last one standing, and Beaky, well, will dispatch him. 2-0 in favor of GGPR. Nicely done for them. Yeah, no, it's looking great for them, honestly. Everyone is performing as you would expect. And the thing is, I thought for a moment Polo was going to get some of that hoodie magic in again with the Desert Eagle and managed to pop some heads, but not to be. He only got 1.
Yeah, I mean, he was showing up all the frag with that Deagle. Trusty hand cannon. He looked really fine with it. Although it is always going to be a little trickier to use that weapon on the
Oh, look at this.
Beaky, look at this. Yeah. He's going to have himself a nice... Okay, 1 for 1. I would have thought maybe he would have got a little bit more out of that, but not quite. And Shaniak finds the mid lurk as well, and in the meantime, B-bomb site's fully in control of G side here. So what we're looking at is a strong 3-0 start. GGPR pretty much leaving where they left off. Oh my god!
Shaniak gets dinged.
Good lord.
Luckily for him, from long range, and then he taps the head of his opponent. 3-0 for GGPR. And I kind of like the idea for Coldest Riders stacking up in that smoke, and they came around the corner, only took one frag and got the instant trade. But the thing is, GGPR were playing it very intelligently. They sent one player out to get some information and see if maybe the stack was coming through. Once they confirmed it, well, they just had to go around it.
Not too tricky for them to deal with. We're going to see early long control being taken here. It's only going to be one in defense. They've left Jermaine on his lonesome to hold off, to fight off against any T-side aggression, and we'll see a sneaky beaky playing around the smoke and might even get himself in towards pit. Really good positioning right now from GGPR.
Savage. Oh, timing not in his favor on this peak. JT's managed to sneak through and get to Xbox. That could spell trouble for the Coldest Riders. But they do have Drew, who pushed out long.
Oh my
Seed
God.
comes around with utility in his hand, and Drew is going to get that frag, but he doesn't expect the second to be there. That said, Coldest Riders still have the man advantage right up until the frag. Low Rider just got on Polo. Back and forth. Craziness continues, though. And Shaniak looking to even things out at a 2v2, and he does exactly that.
Nice shot being hit right there from Enchaniak. He's playing lights out as well. Into a 2v2 though, and Landmass, you gotta be careful here. They're pushed out towards mid. Oh, he's gonna get the jump on Lowrider. Oh my God! No way. Okay. Thank God he recovered right there. That would have been so frustrating. But he will. He'll get a second chance, and that's key. He does not fall short, so he's gonna have to worry about this mid pressure still. And Enchaniak, he's pushed out towards middle. And should have the jump on him. I don't know exactly where Landmass is playing. He's not exposed towards middle, but look at this. And Shaniak, he's pushed his way all the way through.
Oh, the timing!
Oh my God.
The timing on that one. Landmaz and Shaniak both looking away from each other until Shaniak looks towards Landmaz as he was trying to clear tunnels.
Ooh.
Now Savage, oh, that's a dirty little tap onto Shaniak. So Coldest Riders will end up winning this round, but still,
Golly.
there were a few moments where you doubted it a little bit. Lando tried to go for that shot down mid, and unfortunately for him, missed the first one. Then he connected on the second one. Like you said, Cole, that was very, very close to being a flub, but Coldest Riders get the round.
That's key. They win the round at the end. Now, they only survived with one alive. Bomb plant and all for GGPR to work with is going to ensure that they get a healthy buy up here. But oh, that was very, very close, and a nice closer right there. I will say from, I can't remember. Was it Savage?
It was Savage, yeah.
Last shot? Yeah. Really nice finisher right there, making sure that he punishes Enchaniak, and Enchaniak probably overconfident for a good reason right now. So no surprise he went for that peak.
Yeah, GGPR are making some considerably aggressive plays. That said, indeed, they missed the smoke onto the B site, so they are going to completely fall off of it after that, going back through T-spawn to leave one player behind lurking in upper and lower tunnels. That's going to be BQWow, but everyone else appears to be rotating around to go for a long hit, which isn't necessarily a bad idea. You have Savage playing in pit, and you have Landmaz with the op from long range on the A site, but if they can use their utility well, get their flashbangs thrown effectively, they should be able to find that entry.
Yeah, this is an interesting angle here from Savage. A little bit of an off angle. It won't be expected likely. Yeah, JT's going to walk right to his crosshair. Now he has to dive on out. Gets the jump spot, but he needs to double down here. Dodging on the flashbang. It's just too much to ask for. Landmass unable to offer much support here, but still holding a passive line towards that long area. Peeking in towards pit. Oh, there you go. And Shadiak easily cleans that one up in a difficult fight as well. And now Polo with an MP9. He looks to make the play, but look who's up catwalk. It's Sneaky Beaky once again. He will be traded, though, very quickly, and they should be able to take this site quite easily.
Yeah, Sneaky Beaky-like indeed. BQWow gets that frag. Drew and Jermaine managed to recover, but in Shaniak, I don't think he's going to be stopped in this round. Indeed, he's not. 2 more to his name, 3 on the round. And man, oh man, he's looking good with that AWP. 4-1 in favor of GGPR. Honestly, I know Landmaz was trying to help his teammate in pit, but he ended up flashing him, and that could have been the difference there. Yeah,
that was maybe a little bit of unfortunate communication right there, because I think he could have just easily dodged out on that flashbang if he just held his position in pit, but instead he tried to turn away from him. It caused his aim to shift just enough to not enable him to win that duel, and that was key right there. If he doubled down, maybe things could have been a little easier, but either way, GGPR already up catwalk here. They are already going to take the A bomb site for free.
Yeah, that's problematic. And the Coldest Riders, they're going to gain some space up mid here. Drew gets one on Beaky. Wow. Exceed goes through long, trying to engage with a couple of players. He does more than that. Takes some bolt down. And Shaniak comes through with the op in a tight spot, in fact, with the pistols charging towards him. But he's managed to escape, and more holding them off with the Molotov. And that gives GGPR the control they needed to get this bomb planted. Drew's going to pick up an AK off the ground. That's out of the hands of Beaky. Wow. And I'm sure he's just going to want to save that. Polo might hang around a little bit and hope to get a frag, but this is the round for this is GGPR taking the round.
Certainly, and look at that, Lowrider. He gets caught with the USP, takes himself an AK as well. So a small victory, a silver lining for Coldest Riders, but they're kind of off to the similar start that they were in the previous map, where they just started off a little too slow for any sort of attempt at making things easier. And you mentioned that Coldest Riders, they're not well versed in this map, so both sides are going to be very difficult. You know, you got the advantage on Mirage of the CT side, not much of an advantage, but a small one. And now they've got the CT side on Dust too, and it's going to be tricky to try and come back into this without a lead.
Yep. Looking at the scoreboard, in Shaniak, as mentioned, was the frag leader last season. He's popping off again, both on Mirage and here on Dust 2 even more. 12-1 opping on T side, which is quite impressive in itself. This time it's going to be Exceed with the op because he's got the positioning to go for that quick pick down long, and they're throwing the flashes already. Here they come, and their first frag goes their way too. Exceed gets it, drops the op for Shaniak. Mission accomplished, and space gained here for GGPR.
It's even more crazy to think that if Inshaniak won that 1v1, he'd be sitting at he's 13-1. But 4v5 here still, and they find that opening pick, like you mentioned, they take that early space, and it just causes so much issues in Coldest Riders. They're going to push towards the B tunnels here, and Lowrider, he's forced off the angle at the very least, but it does give them some sort of information here, but still, it's all over the place here for GGPR. They got to find themselves a way into this round, and they've been shut down towards long. Now they're going to try B.
Oh no, Coldest Riders over-rotating. A mistake happening here. They try to get back in, but Jermaine goes down to Lowrider, and now Lowrider spotted out another player coming through the doors. He's flashbang. Smoke comes through, and then Shaniak seals the deal on him with the op frag through the wall. Polo's still standing. He's the one who had the lone frag in the round. Now he's got 2 to his name, but they're probably just going to want to save the AK and the op at this point. I was going to say maybe the Coldest Riders had a chance in this round because Exceed went out long a little lackadaisical, and that's why Polo was able to capitalize on it. But after that, GGPR just rotated well. And Coldest Riders, we talked about GGPR capitalizing on their mistakes. They did it again. They rotated way too many players off of B. In fact, all their players off of B, and GGPR took it as a result.
Yeah, that was just a great maneuver right there from GGPR. The quick reaction, the decisiveness as well from Lowrider. Knew his opportunity was just a margin, and he was able to find that perfect gap in the B-bomb site, even winning out on his duel versus Jermaine. Perfect stuff from the IGL over at GGPR. Well, they got themselves an AK and an op to save, so another buys in play here for Coldest Riders. That's not the issue. It's just winning these rounds and trying to find some sort of answer for GGPR. They need to do it soon.
They really do. I mean, in Shaniak and Exceed have been a handful for them. JT's been there here and there. He hasn't really necessarily been a star. I've been getting all the frags here for GGPR. I don't want to say he hasn't been a star because he's a strong player, but last season in advanced, he was incredibly good, and we'll get back to those stats afterwards because these players, they want to go for the fast and furious executes.
They're going to start to make their move on very quickly here. Already scaling up towards the A-bomb site landmass. I mean, forced to play the shotgun op, and he's not able to convert. Polo does find a quick trade.